AT. This is KC from KC Grandpa Tech, where we talk about tech, fun stuff, and much, much more. Hey, today I want to talk to you about storage devices on your laptop, on your computer. You know, some time ago, everything started to go to solid state. And as it went to solid state, various different storage capacities and speeds were used. And a lot of people didn't know what the difference was, like in a solid state drive. All they knew is that my computer has 128 gigabytes, my computer has 256, mine has 1 terabyte. But what are the differences? And what if you go in your laptop and let's say your laptop came with 128 gigabytes of SSD RAM on an M2 drive, and you decide to upgrade that, let's say, to a 1 terabyte. What are the consequences? What are the changes? And what are the things that you got to look out for? So that's what I want to talk to you about first. And one of them is, if you notice here, in the two differences, these are two M2 drives. So let's talk about M2 drives. M2 drives came out as an alternative to the larger Kingston drives. Oh, I mean, not the Kingston drives. SSD drives like this. And the bus was basically limited to 600 gigabytes per second. And there were different speeds, and they could be identified by the keying, M plus B, or just B. And basically what the difference is the speed at which the data can be transferred out of the unit, and whether it's going to go on a SATA bus or it's going to go out on a different bus. The difference, one is 600 gigabytes per second, one is over 1,000. And you can see the difference right here. I hope this is being helpful to you. It can be a little confusing. The next thing we'll talk about is length. Now with storage, the larger the storage capacity is generally that the longer the SSD M2 drive will be. So you'll need to know if you're replacing your drive on your laptop or desktop or whatever device you're using, you'll need to know how long your opening is. So you'll need to know whether it's an M, a B plus M, or a B. Then you'll need to know its length. And you can see here the differences are 2230 and 2240 and 2250. So that's the next thing you'll need to know. You might have a maximum length that you can put in there. And then, of course, what is the maximum capacity that your particular motherboard can take? I mean, right now, you know, you're seeing SSDs that are 128, 256, 512, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte. I'm sure we're going to get to the point where there will be 4 terabyte, 8 terabyte SSD M2s or something to replace it. Let's talk about the next thing. Now, I have two of them up on the screen. So let me just give you a kind of an idea of what we're talking about. An M2 B plus M key SSD can support the SATA bus or the PCIe X2 bus. If the SSD only supports SATA bus, so-called M2 SATA SSD, its speed will not exceed 600 megabytes per second. But if the SSD supports PCIe X2, it'll be 1,000 megabytes per second. So obviously, the larger capacity bus is the way you want to go. But then also questions you is just what kind of motherboard you have and what will it accept. And that's, have I confused you yet? When I started to do this video, I was going to be talking about talking about what happens when you take an SSD drive out of your computer and what do you do with it? And that when I got into it, I realized that I have to put an explanation of all the types of different SSDs that are out there. So what can you do with it? You know, as a lot of special low-priced laptops and computers are out there, A lot of them only came with a 64 or a 128, sometimes 256 SSD drive like this. So now you've upgraded it. And that's a separate video on how to replace up to upgrade and change it. But let's say you've changed it. And now you have 128 gigabyte drive. So what do you do with it? Well, you could sell it on eBay, right? If your motherboard supports it on your PC, you could put it in there, or you could do something like this. You can buy an external USB adapter, and what they look like is internally is this. This is the USB connection, as you can probably see. This is USB 3.0, and they have various lengths for different sizes. And then you would put, hang on a second, and you can see that this one will take different size drives. Now if you look at this one, it's only keyed for one type of drive. So if yours is not going to be compatible, you'll have to order the correct one. My drive happens to be an M plus a B. It's 128 gigabytes. Upgraded a laptop. And I can place that into this holder. You know, screw it in, put the cover on it. And now, whatever size drive you happen to put in here, now this becomes a reusable memory stick. So now you have another type of, instead of having a USB memory stick, you can reuse yours from that. And depending on what size it is, you can use that also. But another thing you can do, and then you can purchase, is adapter boards. And they come in different styles. I mean, this one I found on Amazon. It has the plate to attach it. I haven't done that yet. But if you look here, it has a B slot, it has a M slot, and the difference between the two of them is simply this. One type, okay, you can plug in and just plug it into your computer, and it'll add memory to your computer. The other one has a SATA connector, because that's the difference between B and M and B and M. And it'll even tell you on the bottom here what type. And you can have this one only has 2, but there are ones that have up to 4 of these. So if you were, if you had 4 of these drives, let's say you had 4 1 terabyte drives, you could put 4 of these to have 4 terabyte, plug it into your motherboard, and it would support Windows 7, Windows 8.1, Windows 10. I mean, that's pretty decent speed, and you can plug it directly into your SATA drive. And depending on your bus speed, you'll get that kind of speed. And that's really, really cool. It's just another alternative. This particular one's got a heat sink on it. And very simple to use. Depending on what type of drive you're using, a B or an M, you'll plug it in and take the SATA drive, plug it into here. So I hope this has been helpful for you. It's quite crazy, I know. And I hope this has been helpful for you. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of information about this, and if you just, like I say, if you're just upgrading your motherboard, and I mean your laptop, and it has 128 or 256 gigabyte SSD drive, and you're saying, what can I do with it? Well, one alternative, again, like I said, is you can plug it in and make it a USB drive. Or if you'll say you upgraded a couple of them, you can put them on a motherboard like this. and expand your RAM. Another nice idea on this is a lot of desktops don't have the M2 drive on them. And one consideration is, you can either pay a lot of money for a SSD drives, but if you don't have the room to read expansion, you're kind of out of luck. But if you find the right board, you can pick up a couple of these with 256 gigabytes of SSD space for nothing, for $19. And, you get a board like this for $19. You put 4 of them on it, and now you've got a gigabyte of hard drive space. Those are solutions to problems that you probably didn't think of. Anyway, this is Casey from Casey Grandpa Tech. I hope this has been helpful for you. Put your comments and questions in the comments section. Please like, share, and subscribe. And again, take care now.